2nd Nephi chapter 13 is almost identical to Isaiah chapter 3 in every word. I consider this to be a significant type and shadow, not only of those doomed soon after Isaiah's day, but for us in our day. I could spend a number of videos just parsing this chapter alone because of how uncanny each verse describes us. We must be so much more like Jerusalem and Judah than we even realize. This chapter describes more of what the Lord will take away from the people of Judah and Jerusalem in response to their faithlessness to Him. This includes qualified men and all the expensive adornments of beauty worn by women. The previous chapter ended with a warning from Isaiah to the people, or as we read in Isaiah chapter 2, verse 22, "Cease ye from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of?" In other words, stop trusting in the arm of flesh. Now Isaiah shows the problem with trusting in men, or in other words, the arm of flesh. The Lord is going to take away all the powerful men and soldiers from Judah, as well as the judges, prophets, military leaders, counselors, and even the occult magicians and charms experts, as we read in the first 3 verses of Isaiah. I'll just read them real quick. Well, quoting 2nd Nephi chapter 13. "For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole staff of bread, and the whole stay of water, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet, and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator." The leaders left behind will be young, inexperienced, and weak. In the power vacuum that follows, the people will turn on each other, with the strong oppressing the poor and the old. Every person will fend for themselves. The people will try to convince any man with a cloak to become their leader. And those elected will refuse the job, as we read in verse 7. I'll read that. "In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be a healer, for in my house there is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people." The Lord will bring charges against Jerusalem's current leaders for mistreating the poor, because the wealthy women of Jerusalem and Judah are arrogant and immoral. The Lord will take away all their adornments, replacing hair with baldness and beauty with enemy brands. Jerusalem's men will die, leaving her broken and empty. And by her, I mean the woman Israel, or in other words, as we read in the final verse, verse 26, "And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she shall be desolate, and shall sit upon the ground." Is there any reason to doubt that Isaiah and also Nephi saw the same thing happening to us in the end time scenario? Why did both painstakingly spend so much time writing and preserving their words for us? Will we have any excuse at all when this happens to us, which could have been avoided?